Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bow and Arrow Tarot. Today we're going to get right into the weekly tarot reading for the sign of Cancer. Alright, Cancers, you're up next. And my regulars know what we're going to do. We're going to pull out your 3 romance angel messages for the week. And then we will get into your animal spirits, 3 of them. And then we'll go ahead and pull out your forecast for the week with the traditional deck. Alright guys? Now, there is a link to the full moon reading, which is November 12th in Taurus, and that'll be at the top of the description. You can see that right now and click to there if you'd like to visit the full moon reading for your sign. And so let's get right into it, Cancer. Straight out, we have Love Yourself First. This came out also for Gemini. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. And religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So, let's get right into your animal spirits, okay? Love yourself first, honeymoon, and religious factors. They're kind of self-explanatory, right? Oftentimes, religious factors will come in when your background, your religious or cultural background is at odds with your love life. But we won't really know how these messages apply to you, Cancer, until we get into your spread. So let's go ahead and pull out your animal spirits. Now, animal spirits can come in as stages and paths in your life that you're about to enter into. They can represent characteristics or personality traits of individuals that you may be encountering this week. And they can just generally indicate energies that may be coming available to you or that you may be resonating with just during this week, right? Of course, this is going to be different than your life animal spirit that some people associate with. This is these are temporary energies that may come in and out. So, of course, take what applies to you. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. And let's see what animal spirits you may be walking with this week, my lovely Cancer. We have straight out the firefly, air energy associated with great inspiration coming in. We have the swan, beautiful water energy. And we have the panther. All right, more fire energy. All right. All right, let's start right away with the firefly. The firefly is, of course, air energy and is associated with great inspiration that comes in. That is the alchemical symbol for air at the top of the card. And, of course, air is associated with the mind, the suits of swords. And so in this way, it, of course, represents strong inspiration that comes in very quickly, though, right? The firefly, it's the inspiration or the ideas or the inkling of a great idea will come in, but it will come in very quickly and be gone very quickly. So it's at times like this where you may be focusing on a particular solution that you're trying to find, or you may be involved in a creative endeavor, and right now, all of a sudden, your mind begins to fire much more quickly, maybe clears up a bit, and so inspiration comes in. So this is certainly a time where you need to be focused and aware. Oftentimes, this inspiration can come in a form that you may not be used to. Now, the swan. Swan represents elegant power, right? Healing through creativity. The swan represents a heightened sense of creativity. It is associated with the Hindu god Swarasiti, which is also the embodiment of creativity, right? Of writing, of language, artistry, right? All of these things heightened, but in a way that you're doing that for solo time. You're doing this this is a heightened sense of creativity in a form of healing oneself, right? This is a strong, potent healing energy that comes in with the swan. It also represents a kind of refinement of your artistry. So oftentimes, swan energy will come in at a time in your life where perhaps you are withdrawing from society a bit or withdrawing from the world around you and spending very sort of powerfully healing and potent time alone through creativity. You may be writing a book. You may be spending time away in the countryside painting or drawing. Whatever it is, it's a sense of artistry and creativity creativity, excuse me, that is not only heightened but serves the purpose of you healing yourself and healing your wounds. Very nice energy, very unique also. Now the Panther comes in as fire energy. The Panther pounces in our lives with a sense of chaos. Panther is all about the annihilation of the old, purging. And when we purge, it can oftentimes be a very violent act, right? We know that when we purge our system, right, being sick to your stomach, it is a violent act often, but it is one that oftentimes also is necessary. That's the essence of a purge. And so the Panther comes into our lives and really pounces. You know, you can almost hear that kind of hissing, high-pitched growl that the Panther kind of lets loose in the image, right? But what happens is oftentimes the chaos that comes with the Panther in our lives is necessary. And what it does is it shakes everything up. And when the dust settles, you suddenly find yourself in a place that is renewed. All the old vestiges, you know, all the vestiges of the old traumas, let's say, the remnants of, you know, past toxicity, the remnants of past relationships, or things that have allowed to kind of stick around, right, that are not part of your life now, right? The remnants of the past are gone. And it's almost as if that annihilation and that annihilation of the old and that purging of things that you no longer require in your life, it's almost like it clears the field, right? Not only does it refertilize the field for creativity, but it clears the way for progression, and it also brings with it a sense of renewal and a sense of cleansing in a lot of ways, right? Now, let's get right into your spread. We're going to pull out anywhere from 4 to 8 3-card spreads for this week, Cancer. And these are going to be scenarios that you may or may not encounter. And I often say it can be good to check back to this weekly reading throughout the week, because it can be that at different times of the week you may resonate with different forecasts. All right. And sometimes you can check back to the reading, and if one of the forecasts you've been resonating with, you see all of the signs, right, then it can help you in the, sort of see how to progress forward, right? Now, of course, these readings can't be for all Cancers. So just as with the romance angel messages and the animal spirits, just take whatever applies to your situation and disregard the rest. All right, Cancer, let's get into your first spread. Straight out, we have Empress. This also came out for Gemini. Empress, 7 of Cups, and Emperor. So Empress energy is quite interesting, right? This week you come in with Empress energy. You come in with a sense of feeling really beautiful, feeling very self-nurturing, very loving. Some of you may indeed be mothers, and this week you may be getting pampered. This is all about luxuriating in the feminine, in your feminine side, right? Really indulging your feminine side, re-nourishing that side of yourself. That's the side of yourself that's associated with creativity and receptivity and nurturing, support, expressing your emotions, all of the things that we associate with the divine feminine. Right now, in this moment, you're really indulging in that, luxuriating in that, and really taking care of that side of yourself, right? Now, you are met with the 7 of Cups, and this is a real fairy tale kind of way of looking at life. Interestingly enough, this week, a feeling of kind of hoping for things to be, you know, like a fairy tale, right? Hoping and wishing for a fairy tale outcome in a particular endeavor. And you are met with your divine masculine, the Emperor. And so it's quite interesting. For some of you Cancers, right, you have a soulmate connection that is very, very intense. You have indeed a divine feminine, divine masculine connection. But this week, there seems to be a level of sort of delusion about it. It could be very well that it could be something like marriage or honeymoon that you're working towards, and you may be having too high of an expectation about something. There's something that you two are engaging in that is that you're having too high, too unrealistic expectations of. And again, I'm going to say this could very well be about a honeymoon or about a marriage. It could very well be about you two coming together, and religious factors may be standing in your way. You guys may not really be paying attention to it. You may be thinking that, oh, it'll work out. Everything will work out, right? But take care, because Seven of Cups does talk about the fact that a lot of what you are focusing on is unrealistic, right? And so if you guys are dealing with something like perhaps a honeymoon, a big event or something like that, or you're dealing with connections with family as in connection to the wedding or the honeymoon, right? And you're thinking that everyone else is going to fall into place. They're not necessarily going to fall into place. And this may indeed need for you guys to take a much more hands-on approach. You certainly end the week with the Emperor energy. So in any case, regardless of the connection between the two of these, the end of the week comes out with Emperor energy, and that is reasserting authority. So certainly in an area where you may have thought it was going to be a perfect outcome, even if it does not turn out that way, you end the week in charge. You end the week in charge, and you end the week setting the tone for the way things will move forward, right? And I would say it will be you in the sense that you and your partner, right, are set very much in the authoritative sort of position, if you understand what I'm saying, right? Because this is your reading, Cancer, and so it's not that, the Emperor in your life is taking the lead. This Emperor energy here in this particular, it's representing two energies here. One is your divine masculine connection with your divine feminine, but also the essence of Emperor is being embodied here with this relationship, in the sense that you take control of your life, and your life is controlled by the way you want, what you want for your relationship with your divine masculine, and nobody can stand in the way. Not family, not events, not friends, whatever the case may be. Even if it was unrealistic, you still come out on top as a couple. All right, guys? It's very interesting reading this one. Lion, Strength, 8, 2 of Swords, and the Sun. You come into the week, some of you Cancers, come into the week with this very strong energy of Leo. This is 8 major arcana card for strength, and strength is understanding when to set boundaries, when to say no, right? Strength is knowing knowing who you are and knowing what you can handle, right? Testing your limits, right? And knowing your limits and setting boundaries in place so that people don't overstep those boundaries and impinge on your freedom or impinge on your psychic stability, your emotional stability, right? Strength is understanding and knowing how to take control over your own emotional well-being and not allowing others to impact that. And you come into the week with this very strong energy. 2 of Swords comes in, and you're met with a decision. Something comes into you and it feels like an impossible decision. 2 of Swords is when we are being forced to decide between family and our children, extended family and our children, or our love life and our career life, or 2 things that you simply, whatever the case may be, or even 2 aspects of your life, 2 friends that you can't give up, whatever the choice is. It's an impossible choice. And the lesson with 2 of Swords is that it's not about a choice at all. It's about balance, finding balance between the two. This could very well be about finding balance between how much you allow a particular aspect of your life to impinge on you, right? Or to cross boundaries that you have set, right? Or not. In any case, this week is all about you being very, very strong and preserving your own emotional well-being. And you really do, I think what happens is you find this out, you find this balance, you understand this because you come out of the week with Sun energy, which is clarity, reaffirmation that you've done the right thing. I'm going to say for a lot of you, this will almost be like a firefly energy in the sense that it'll be an epiphany, that you come up with a solution to this problem here, which is kind of a problem, right? The land of indecision. You come up with the third solution, which is balance and duality, and it hits you like a spark, and you are sort of end out the week like, wow, I got it. You know what I mean? Yes, I got it. I understand this, right? And you get very quickly, you get reaffirmations that you've made absolutely the right decision, and that you've taken the right way to move forward in this particular area of your life. Very nice. King of Pentacles, 10 of Wands, and the 3 of Cups. This is almost the same identical spread that came out also for Gemini. I'm going to say King of Pentacles. You entered this week with a sense of sort of authority in your business or career area, right? King of Pentacles is the great benefactor, the great mentor in a lot of ways. He is the one who comes in to support you financially. He is the one he's the great investor, right? He invests in people that he believes in materially with his advice and with his coin specifically. You come in this week very much in authority in this area, right? This is going to be for a Cancer that is very well established and has really reaped a certain amount of abundance and success. And you are met with this 10 of Wands. I'm going to say for some of you, this week there was a very large project perhaps that you've been working on for quite some time, an objective in some way. I want to say that this project is probably community orientated. So for instance, Cancer, this is going to be for a Cancer out there who probably has a lot of money and success and abundance, but you have done something in an area or set off a project in an area. You've been on a path to accomplish something, manifest something in an area that's to do with humanitarian needs or social needs, or area that is close to your heart as far as your ambition. It may not be an area where you're going to be making a lot of money, but it has been an uphill struggle nonetheless. And this week it comes to completion and you celebrate. I'm going to say for some of you, you've arrived. And this is why I'm saying it's in an area that is not financially associated, because you coming in as King of Pentacles shows that you've already established yourself as being on top in your career and in your finances. You have abundance, you have success, right? But to be at a 10 of Wands shows that this must be in an area in your life where it's not necessarily to do with your money, right? It's another area of your life which has been difficult. It has been burdensome. It has not been without trials and tribulations. Regardless of how much money you have, there's been a real uphill struggle. But the conclusion of this is a real sense of pride and victory and achievement, and you celebrate with the community. This is a community celebration here, 3 of Cups. And so again, I'm going to say this is the accomplishment of something really, really great for the people that you care about. Could very well be for your culture, for your religious group, right? Something that is very close to how you were raised or brought up. It's very close to your heart and your sort of cultural identity, and this week is a week to celebrate the achievement of that. Hangman energy, Page of Wands, and Queen of Wands. I'm going to stop there. So Hangman energy talks about having woken up into an area in your life where you have not really been putting your best foot forward necessarily, and oftentimes this happens because you've lacked the inspiration. But inspiration, remember, this week comes in. Hanged Man is one of these very interesting cards, and I want to just take a moment to explain it. Oftentimes, this card is misinterpreted as someone who is stuck. Firstly, this card does not come in until you have realized that you have been so-called stuck in a particular area, because the Hanged Man shows the radiance of awareness, right? So the Hanged Man is really, it's the waking up. Right? It's the waking up. And so when the Hanged Man shows up, you have already woken up. You're not in the dark anymore. So you've woken up to an area of your life where you haven't really been putting your best foot forward. Now, a lot of people call it stuck energy, but look at the character. He's hardly stuck. He chooses, right? He chooses not to put an effort in. He barely puts an effort in hanging there. He's hanging by one foot with his hands behind his back. This is not a case of someone being stuck. This is a case of someone being apathetic and uncaring. All right, this is the 12. The first two in the major arcana, remember, is the High Priestess. And the High Priestess is also extremely cagey and unwilling to come out to anyone unless they prove themselves. In this way, the Hanged Man is the same way. The Hanged Man is also very cagey, very, very sort of withdrawn in himself and refusing to make any effort unless something has come into his purview that makes him feel like it's worth it. Inspiration, as it were. And so you've woken up and realized something has happened, something has come into your life that is suddenly giving you that inspiration to come out of this sort of apathetic state that you've been in, sort of settling, being happy to settle for less rather than make the effort because it's not worth it. Now something has come in that's very much made you feel worth it, and you are met this week with a Page of Wands. So you're even you get a reaffirmation with this Page of Wands this week that this is worth following. Page of Wands talks about a renewed sense of ambition and creative drive. You've kind of overcome the initial fears that are associated with starting something new and starting something creative. Opportunity comes in for you to take the next step in this particular endeavor, and it's almost as if you've got the inspiration coming in, and right away behind it comes the ambition to move forward. It comes to move forward momentum. The idea and now the drive, right? And you end out the week as Queen of Wands in a sense that it's almost like the Hanged Man is completely turned around, because the Queen of Wands is one of the most dynamic queens in the deck in terms of facing troubles, facing difficulties, facing obstacles for the sake of learning and experience and wisdom, right? She can face anything. She is the strongest queen in the deck. She is the strongest queen in the deck, period, in terms of facing life's events head on and learning from them. She's one of the highest cards in the deck for self-transformation. And you end this week very much committed to being there, to being to putting, yes, your best foot forward, to being absolutely your best Queen of Wands possible, which is really the polar opposite to the Hanged Man energy. And so you really commit and double down to this new sort of endeavor that has really come into your life like a bolt of lightning. All right, guys, this is your reading, November 10th to the 16th, Cancer. I hope it really resonated with you. If it did, please like, subscribe, and share. Check out the full moon reading for your sign. Full moon readings were very interesting this month. The full moon is November 12th. I'll be putting out new moon readings November 26th. And of course, I'll be right back here next Saturday for next week's weeklies. But for right now, Cancer, have a wonderful week. Bye-bye now.